What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 78 of the Exercise, brought to you by the Cheesy Controller Podcast. I'm your host, Anton LaPlatte. Joining me, as always, we have the Mayor Stardew Valley Orzia, Chris Montalbano.
What's up, everybody?
We got the most degenerate squid in the sea, Jalen Roberts.
Remember, if you love it, capitalism will kill it in front of you, and then make you bury the body.
And we got the Ray Trace Durag, Madrid Devon.
We gotta hold these people accountable.
We got a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. We're gonna explain why fuck Activision Blizzard. I know that kind of started to break towards the end of last week's recording. Now we've had a whole week of things happening since then, so strap in. We're about to dismantle this. We're going to be talking about EA Play Live. That's like, why are all their things called EA Play?
I don't know. It's really confusing. Also hard to Google.
Right. So we're going to talk about Olympics and like the fact that there's video game music happening at the Olympics. We're going to talk about Knockout City Season 2. And we're going to talk about the new Apex character, Seer. So I guess, yeah, let's get this Blizzard stuff out of the way.
Let's take the medicine real quick, then we can go to the sugary fun shit.
Right, we can go enjoy having an episode. But we, as a podcast, have been saying fuck Blizzard as the same podcast that gave Overwatch our Game of the Year the first time I think we gave a Game of the Year to a game.
But remember, good games can be made by terrible people.
Yeah. Also, that was 5 years ago, right?
Right, this is all years, but I mean, a lot of these toxic things.
This shit's been happening since before Overwatch even came out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, like, this link that I have is just updates. So, basically, Activision Blizzard are being sued by the state of California for discrimination and harassment. And so what's happening is female employees are being harassed. Female employees are being passed up for male employees that perform literally worse in comparable jobs. They're people are saying they have a frat bro culture. They had a room called the Cosby Room. There's just so much going on, and if you're not,
the deeper you look, the worse it gets.
Yes, honestly,
the longer you look at it, the worse it gets. It's like watching somebody's face melt. It's just like, the more you watch it, just
Yeah, the whole situation is gross, and like the most fucked up part, like with the Cosby Room incident in particular, like one of the HR people was in the photo, like in the room, participating in it. When you have that shit so ingrained into the culture of an organization that your fucking human resources person is out here participating in the debauchery, it's like, where the fuck do I turn to? Where do I go? Like, this is supposed to be like the one person I can look to for help. But no, they're right there doing the same shit with like with them. You know, they're a part of the problem. Like what the fuck are you supposed to do in that situation? And a lot of these people had to work in that environment for years. Like, a lot of the female employees dealt with sexual harassment, being looked over, being exploited. Like,
right,
well, the men could literally sit back and play video games. Like, what? Like, they had one black woman write them an essay about what she's going to do on her time off that she requested. Like, what the fuck? Is this middle school? Like,
and don't forget, this is the same company that's been laying off employees every couple of months, while their like CEO keeps getting these like 7, 8, 9-figure raises. I mean, bonuses.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right, he took a pay cut, but then ended up making more that year because of bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that whole shit's
bonuses would cover the losses.
Right, it more than covered the losses. It turned him a profit, you know? But I mean,
And it would quote unquote make him look good by giving up I'm sacrificing my salary for my employees. Fucking liar.
right?
That's
So
the problem. Like, we have to hold these people accountable. That's the thing. Like, you can't let them wiggle out of it. You have to sit down and like shouts out to Blizzard. Well, like the devs and shit right now. They're holding a walkout.
yeah, they had a walkout today, and they had a list of demands. Does anybody feel like reading the list of demands? Just like
Pretty much basic human kindness. That's really what it comes down to, being treated like human beings with some respect. You know.
You know the bare minimum.
well, I mean, so it's 4 things. The first one is an end to mandatory arbitration clauses in all employee contracts, current and future. Arbitration clauses protect abusers and limit the ability of victims to seek restitution. So that's demand 1. Demand 2 is the adoption of recruiting, interviewing, hiring, and promotion policies designed to improve representation among employees at all levels, agreed upon by employees in a company-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion organization. Current practices have led to women in particular, women of color, and transgender women, non-binary people, and other marginalized groups that are vulnerable to gather gender discrimination, not being hired fairly for new roles when compared to men. So that's demand 2.
Like that's like a big thing that I think a lot of other companies just across the board, like no matter what fucking demographic, like you really need to like have that. Like a lot of these boards, and leaderships shouldn't look the exact fucking same because you're gonna get the same results. You know.
Right.
Actually, fuck it. We don't need boards entirely. Fuck that shit. Let's just make the only people who are doing this shit the people who are actually doing this shit. Let's not have these 9 degrees of separation where you got a bunch of people at the top who haven't touched a single line of code or a single thing of anything this entire time, raking, 15, 16, 250 times everyone, the actual laborers' wages? Like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reason why we're going to keep having these problems.
Well, yeah, so
Seize the means of production.
I'm just going to keep going because I feel like all of these things are acceptable for anybody to expect from a workplace, especially one with the level of means of Activision Blizzard. Publication
it's to be expected, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's a
happen.
problem.
So, demand number 3 is publication of data on relative compensation, including equity grants and profit sharing, promotion rates, and salary ranges for employees of all genders and ethnicities at the company. Current practices have led to aforementioned groups not being paid or promptly not being paid or promoted fairly. So having those actual numbers out there and like having people who are coding and people who are like designing and having the people who are actually good people who are working at Blizzard and are working hard like for a game like Jalen, I remember at one point in time your dream job was to work for Blizzard.
Yeah, but then I found out they were terrible.
Yeah, and but
Like,
I mean,
Adulthood.
and also
Realizing your dream job is fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's what happened, and now then it became fuck it, I'll do it myself, and now I want to make my own studio, make my own games.
oh yeah,
Decent people.
Cheesy Controller Studios. This, it's coming down the pipeline. TBD. When it's ready, that's how we'll announce that. You'll get Cheesy Controller Studios when it's ready. So the 4th and final demand of the employees is empower a company-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion task force to hire a third party to audit ABK's reporting structure. I'm not sure what that is. HR department and executive staff It is imperative to identify how current systems have failed to prevent employee harassment and to propose new solutions to address these issues.
You know, the bare fucking minimum.
Right. Like, and I mean, all of this is just like a way more intelligently worded way of saying, like, and I mean, this is a thing that you can actually, if you get all of these things that they're specifically asking for in place, I could see it having an immediate, like, impact on the culture of the studio, having actual terrible people be gone, like, promoting equality and have more women of color, transgender women, non-binary people, like having more of those groups in your workforce helps you to develop a better culture just inherently. So,
Yeah. It's almost like we need better workers' rights in this country.
Right. And most importantly, we have to listen to these people, like when they speak, like when they talk about how you've wronged them, or like what you're doing is unacceptable, you know. And if you don't have that room to like listen and be accountable, the same shit's just gonna continue, you know.
Yeah, you're never gonna change unless you want to.
That's the problem. That's why we gotta roast these niggas, make them feel like shit.
right. What the only message, and I'm sure
The only
that,
press they get is bad press now. Fuck that does.
but that's the thing.
Yeah, if they're working on some shit, we're not fucking with it. Also,
Hey.
like, we're not playing no type of Activision Blizzard games. Like,
yeah, this
I wasn't
is,
really, them shits weren't on my radar for a while, and I'm really not fucking with it. I'm
yeah,
off it.
I took all. So I had like Diablo 2 Resurrected. I had like a few of those games on my wish list on PlayStation. Got rid of all of those. Uninstalled Battle.net from my computer. Completely deleted all of the Blizzard games I had installed on my computer. The only real message these companies will understand is like people voting with their wallets, getting their bottom line. Like the only thing that is important to them is money. And if we start fucking with their money, they're going to start paying attention.
Yeah, you gotta hit them in the pockets. So,
Yep.
I'm making a point to do that. So, yeah, I say y'all should do the same. I don't have a gun to your head, tell you what to do, but you know, if you find this important, you definitely gotta make it known. You know, you gotta put that energy out there.
Right, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, so much has happened, and I'm sure stuff is going to happen between today and by the time this episode posts, and by the time this episode is heard by people. So I definitely recommend looking into these Activision Blizzard, because looking at even the story that I'm reading from, there have been update after update after update of just like this constantly evolving situation. And I mean, it's like Jalen said, it gets worse the longer you look at it, but I mean, it helps to be informed and to make informed decisions. Like, we've been saying fuck Blizzard because they don't care about their players. We're saying fuck Blizzard because they like have been bending the knee to like the Chinese companies that have been basically pumping money into these companies. And so, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I listened to like a 2-hour podcast entirely about just like what Chinese companies are doing to the games industry at large, and that's a whole, like, I don't even need to get started on that.
I mean, it's one of those, we need more independent studios that are probably doing the co-op thing, like the Disco Elysium devs. Like,
Yeah. I like what they're doing, and I like what Future Club's doing.
Yeah, and
know,
I mean,
put
I'm
the
sure
devs
there
in
are a
charge.
bunch of examples just around the industry of positive, like Insomniac. They have said that nobody had to crunch to make Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart one of the best looking games in existence right now.
Super Giant, you know.
That should
Right, Super
also be
Giant.
the standard.
And so, like, it's big and small studios. So, like, if Insomniac, owned by Sony, and like being put up against PlayStation deadlines can still get to the point that they made such a high quality game without any of their employees like being forced to crunch. Like, that's the kind of positive change that we need to see in the industry. And so like
Actually,
that's a trend I can get behind.
Actually, I'd like to speak on that. If you look at it, also like
Talk about it.
most of the, let's put it this way: I have not. I'm not saying this ain't. I'm not saying this ain't. Never want to say that it ain't happening, because I don't know. I ain't got information like that. But I've noticed that a lot of this stuff seems to come out of companies that either do the big publisher thing, or is like utterly consumed by a big publisher.
What about Supergiant? What about Future Club? Both of
Wait,
those are
Supergiant is owned by who?
nobody. They're independent.
That's my point. That's my point. The bad stuff happens by these like big, by the game studios that are owned by these publishers. Like the independent ones, I haven't heard shit. They've just been out dropping heat, minding their own business. Supergiant has vacation times. They have their studios closes every year for a little while, so everyone gets a vacation.
But
Right.
what about
a lot of times, like
think
these
about
smaller,
Respawn.
more intimate teams work better, because you're.
I think it's
that
more of
degree
a-
of
I think it's
separation
like-
is less.
I think if
like,
the ceiling is the actual ceiling for the room you're in, I think it's easier to deal with these things because it's easier to kick out an asshole when there isn't somebody over you telling you nah, he cool. And ones saying they're usually the ones who ain't work there.
Yep.
yeah.
Like, that's the thing about it. You haven't heard nothing from Supergiant. You haven't heard something from, like, these smaller independents. Now, I'm not saying it don't happen. Zero Labs.
Well, I mean, that's what eventually turned into Future Club. That's the team.
Okay.
So,
yeah, but
Lab
actually,
Zero.
that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When you were able to move and deal with these things, sometimes it ends up you turn into Future Club.
So,
At least you could...
that kind of brings me to another story. So, a new development studio was just announced today, which is like a weird thing that's been happening lately where we get announcements of development teams. But this is like a tweet from Culture Crave on Twitter. This just popped up in the Discord, and it's kind of a good breakdown of what's going on. Developers from the teams behind The Last of Us, Call of Duty, God of War, and Destiny have started a new studio called That's No Moon. They are backed with a $100 million investment, and the first project will be an action-adventure game. So, hopefully...
That's cool.
With everything going on in the industry right now, and like a lot of light being
$100 million
shown-
investment.
right? Who's that $100 million investment from? But
That's
we're
all I
not-
could think about. No, you gotta consider these things.
Yeah. No, that definitely
If
is something.
we're talking about being open, transparent, and like aware, like we gotta consider these things,
Well, let me see if I can find the story on it.
Oh, no, it was Smilegate. It was Smilegate who gave them the $100 million.
Who's
And
Smilegate?
Smilegate made Crossfire.
Crossfire X, like
The Crossfire franchise.
okay,
Isn't that Chinese?
that's a great question.
It
Would you call it Smilegate?
Yeah, Smilegate. Yeah, Crossfire is a China. Actually, I think what they're working on is a Smilegate sequel. I mean, not a Smilegate sequel, a Crossfire sequel. My bad. They're working on a Crossfire sequel. Or at
Isn't the
least
Crossfire
Remedy
game?
is. They're co-developing it. Remedy is co-developing it. And Smilegate just gave That's No Moon $100 million. I think it might be a cross. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I'm looking at their. What is Crossfire? Like
Crossfire is the Crossfire franchise is a FPS. It's an FPS that's popular in Asia right now. The latest one is Crossfire X, which came out in 2019.
That was
Well,
2019 when it came out.
No, well,
The
according
Crossfire X.
I'm looking
Cross-
at...
Wasn't there just a beta like? Well, maybe last year.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for Crossfire X right now, and it's saying it's coming sometime. It's an upcoming first-person shooter set to be released exclusively for Xbox One and Xbox Series X/S in 2021. It's the third installment in the Crossfire series. Remedy Entertainment worked on the game's single-player campaign, while Smallgate led the development of the game's free-to-play multiplayer portion. And so...
Okay, so it's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
No, it's not out yet. Okay. But that is the company that gave That's No Moon 100 mil.
But yeah,
Smilegate.
there was a beta last year in June for Xbox Insiders. So, I mean, this will be interesting. I kind of like... We know these developers are really talented, so seeing like...
Yeah. I'll definitely keep an eye on it.
And I mean, it's an independent AAA studio.
Do you think this shift?
Huh?
Yeah,
Independent AAA.
yeah, independent AAA.
Wait, say that again?
Independent
was-
AAA.
But what were you
I'm
asking,
gonna
Chris?
say this. I'd never.
Oh.
I mean, yes, but also I felt like the big bulk of what the foundation of what a lot of libraries tend to be during console generations are the middle market games. So, yeah, I think we're going to see more independent AAA and I guess middle market AA games, I guess you would call them.
Well, no, this is...
I was.
Go
oh,
ahead,
sorry.
Chris.
I was gonna ask, with all of this, like, with people going to and like bigger devs leaving and making their own teams with like and cooperating and like collabing and everything. Do you think this could shake up everything and like you in maybe 10 or 20 years you're seeing like a no dev coming out now that's now as big as like Capcom? And things are like
Well,
Blizzard
Capcom's
is
a
kind of like
publisher
old.
that has developers
Whoa.
under it.
So, that's okay. So that's kind of where I'm going. Where like you're seeing someone bigger coming up in the world, where
Well,
like
they're not
Ubisoft
gonna
is
be at-
not the thing anymore. It's this new company in 20 years.
I think it kind of depends on like what's that dev's like vision, you know. I'm sure some of these
Yeah.
like these smaller indie devs could get bigger if they wanted to, but I'm sure some they're like, yeah, that doesn't really fit our vision, or like this wouldn't be feasible, and it's like, oh, why would we stretch our resources to like, you know,
I
make
know.
this many games? So it really just depends on what they're after, you know.
I just think it'd be a cool idea for people who like understand where the game industry is going and what they like. It was created probably not in the best culture.
I mean, like the
back
thing about
in the
game
day,
development,
so-
the thing about video games you have to remember is that as a thing, it kind of lives, dies, and comes back every once in a while. Like you get these shifts in like gaming change. Like we went from the Atari days, we went from the arcade days to the home Atari days, to gaming almost dying, to getting Nintendo, early Nintendo, into Sony, into Xbox, into every game being online now, and to the point where now we're streaming games like it's Netflix.
Right.
And I think when it comes with these more independent developers is we're not going to see as much, like the developers themselves are going to have more control over like the schedule of when the game comes out, when the games come out, and like all this and how they want to be monetized. Because you'll have a situation like Paradox, where Vampire the Masquerade was pretty much done, but it ain't coming out because monetization. You get to dodge certain things like that, but then also it makes everything a bit more reachable. Like right now with the Blizzard situation, this is caused by like all the higher ups who don't actually have to do the work.
Yeah.
So without them, everything becomes a lot more reachable.
That's fair.
I don't even know where to go from that. Let's talk about the Olympics, you know? The entire world's watching.
Not me.
People are having trouble watching the Olympics this year. So there's that. People actually aren't watching.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I know I went to my parents' house the other day and my mom was watching it, but people.
That's because your mom probably had. Do they have cable?
No.
No. Oh, you got the basic package, of channels. No.
No.
Like ABC,
Oh,
Fox.
you talking about like free? That's not cable. Though.
Yeah. Oh, it's TV. I don't know how that. Shit works.
Yeah, I don't either, honestly. If it's
Just
not
use
on
the
Twitch,
internet.
if it's
I
not
think
on
it
Twitch
is,
or
but, like-
YouTube, I can't. I don't know.
I think they are showing the Olympics. When I opened up Twitch, they were showing something for the Olympics.
I saw a bunch of people looking like us. I saw a screen that looked real too similar to what we got going on right now.
I mean, Discord is just too powerful, and we will all bend the knee to our Discord overlords.
Well,
Good old
Say
piss
fuck up.
cord. Piss cord.
Discord.
You're just out here being toxic, Jalen. Like, what?
I ain't being toxic. That's an old Discord joke that y'all ain't privy to. I understand. It's okay. In the old Discord logo,
Oh,
in the
fucking me.
in the old Discord logo, the negative space in it made the Jewish letter for P, which would made it piss cord. And the developers did that on purpose.
So, video game music in the Olympics.
Right.
Is that where you were trying
that was
to go?
kinda tight.
The Olympics is in Tokyo. That is in Japan. So they thought they partnered with Shueisha and different kind of like anime sources. So they kind of tackled it on like the anime front and then like on the like gaming front. So they've been playing like video game music for like the opening ceremony and shit. Like people were walking out to like Nier Automata music and like
That's tight.
Kingdom Hearts music.
Right. I know the singer for Nier
Dragon
Automata
Quest.
was like, holy shit, my voice is being played at the Olympics. Like, she was on Twitter definitely celebrating the fact
Yeah,
that...
that's dope.
I mean,
is sick.
Nier's influence on modern culture can't be, overstated.
No, not at all. It is the culture. Nier Automata is the culture.
That actually... So, I beat Shadowbringers. Yay! Woo!
Yay. He did
beat-
it. He did it. Yeah. How long did it take?
250 hours. I thought it was
Really?
closer to 300, but when I actually checked the numbers, it was like 250 hours.
Good for you.
So, I beat Shadowbringers, did the first part of the Nier raid, and Chris, you told me last week, hit me up when you got to do shit, and I understand capitalism.
Capitalism fucked me up.
I mean, having to deal with
talk
dog
about it.
injuries has me fucked up. So
But so you beat the last trial in the last dungeon.
yeah, I have completed. I'm actually in 5.1. So
Nice.
I have that first dungeon unlocked that you get post game, but I just haven't gone and done it
Oh,
because
the twinning?
Is that the twinning?
I think so.
Hold the fuck up. If I'm sitting here sleeping on the twinning, because the music from the twinning is the music in the long fall, the emote we were talking about last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is where the music is based off of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first dungeon you get is the twinning.
I'm gonna bring up these main scenario quests.
Because that's when you start getting like mastery roulette or whatever
that's the
it's
Grand
called.
Cosmos is the one I just unlocked.
Oh.
Actually, the twinning isn't post-game Shadowbringers at all. So,
Yeah, it's 5.0, but that's the first dungeon you get after beating Shadowbringers. It's post pre-patch. That makes sense.
What?
It's
you're about
post-game
to unlock the
before
20. You're almost there.
5.1.
You're not there
Yeah.
yet. You're at the end of the storyline, and you're going into the next shit. You're going into post game. Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I stopped doing post-game stuff to do the Nier stuff. Well, which
Have
is
you unlocked the
technically-
Nier stuff?
Yeah, I did the first part of the dungeon.
Nice.
Or the Alliance
Great.
raid.
How'd you like it?
So, you were talking to me about it last week, and then I was talking to Jawan while I was doing it. It seemed, because I know Jawan has spent a lot more time in the Nier raid. According to him, the first part's the hardest part. And according to you,
so
the
the
second part is the hardest part. So I did the
one
first
of you have
part.
trouble with prime numbers. That's what it is. Whoever has, yeah.
I have trouble with prime numbers because that's in the second one. But also, the second one's just like heavily AOE mechanic hell, and that's probably why I think it's harder. But I didn't think this first one was hard at all.
I mean, I'll give it a shot. Like, that's my next goal is, like, continue on. Like, my character is just out in the world near where that quest line is, so. Yeah, I'm out there. I'm going to do the second part and the third part before I do the dungeon that I just unlocked in post-game. Like, as far as going along with the...
You might as well. You get a lot of unlocked content. Like if you just go around the Crystallarium and just do random stuff, you get unlocked stuff for 5.0 post game, not 5.1.
Okay.
Like upgrades your roulette to where it's like advanced player, level 80 roulette. So you can level other things better, or even get more of the tomes you're going to need to upgrade your armor.
Yeah, I saw the tomes. Like, doing the Shadowbringers quest line, which was like... Or the Shadowbringers quest, which was the last quest of Shadowbringers. It was like, I saw rewards and tomes and shit on the dungeon and the trial I had to do that I had never seen before, so...
Yeah, I think there's a blue one and a red one. And the red one's better. The blue one will get you like to where you can really do all of the Nier raid stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm already technically over geared for the Nier raid. So that's
Really?
yeah. I only died like twice in the first part, and for an Alliance raid, that's not. I mean, I can do Crystal Tower in my sleep, but compared to my first time doing the fucking Heaven's Ward Alliance raid. Also, I need to do the Stormblood Alliance raid. When like, hit me up, Chris. Because we can go do that shit at any point.
Actually, the Stormblood Alliance raids are fun as fuck.
I want to do them. Like, that's the thing. Now that I've done the Crystal Tower so many fucking times that
You could speedrun that shit in like 10 minutes. Which is ridiculous.
I mean, but with skipping cutscenes, it still takes longer than that just because Cloud of Darkness and that one Abomination boss that I hate with all of... Like, every time I do the Crystal Tower and I see that boss with, like, 5 heads and, like, 8 boobs and, like, 3 tails, like... It's so much wrong with that boss. Like, and it's not even, like, it's wolf heads, like... There's so much wrong with that boss.
Oh, yeah. He comes back in the Stormblood.
Yeah.
Except as sharks.
Well, I don't know. As long as it's not
I think
like...
it's just a reskin or something.
I just hate that boss so much. But, yeah.
He's not as bad as a Cerebus boss that would, like, somebody had to get eaten.
Yeah,
that was annoying.
You gotta go in the stomach and fuck shit up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I just wanted to give listeners a progress update. I'm officially in post-game Shadowbringers, and I thought I'd just beat the Nier raid and take a break. Like, I talked about that last week, but I think I'm going to finish post-game. Like, finish Death Unto Dawn Part 2, patch 5.55. Like, I'm going to do all that shit.
Are you going to get your relic?
No, I don't like. I need to put the game down, Chris. I started playing Genshin Impact. It's too.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, Genshin Impact's actually kind of fun. Cause
Yes, it is.
yeah, playing for free and having just a shit ton of contact. Oh, not contact. Content. Yeah, I'm physically
you have 3
contacting
whole ass zones
Genshin
you have
Impact.
to go through.
Right. And I've been enjoying. I'm adventure rank 15, almost like 16's when you can start doing co-op, and I already did the prerequisite quests and stuff. Like, I'm ready to like play some Genshin Impact with some of the people like Paul Box. Who else?
Trash boat.
Trash Boat. I mean, you, Jalen, really. Because me and
I'm like
Jawan just
32.
on a whim, we were just like, fuck it. We're going to just start playing. And then it's like, okay, what... Because I want to get that Aloy thing. Whenever Aloy comes to the game, I want to have Aloy as a character.
That's going to be real easy. Like, you don't even have to do anything for that.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be till 2.2, which is in, like, September.
Yeah, whenever the fuck it happens, but... Yeah. I got games to play, Chris. I can't just stick with 14.
I mean, you could do your dailies at 14.
Even that, like, that's a couple hours every day. I don't have a couple extra hours to give to 14.
You know what? I actually understand that.
So, let me see. What else were we going to talk about? What did I talk about? EA Play Live happened.
Oh, yeah.
And so, there's a lot of news out of that. I recommend you guys watch this one, hosted by Atlanta's very own Austin Creed.
Yeah, this one was actually a lot of fun. Or first. This show was actually kind of a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, they showed a lot of games that we're playing and, like, a lot of things people wanted. And it shows EA. Like, right now, Ubisoft has been kind of, like, on the decline. Like, I was kind of more of a Ubisoft gamer than I was an EA gamer. But now, between Knockout City and Apex alone, I'm more of an EA gamer than I am a Ubisoft gamer. I think the last Ubisoft game I even played, like, I want to do Far Cry 6, and I know Ubisoft is doing a lot of bullshit as well, and they're having a walkout and, like, having management called out and all that stuff, but the main antagonist in Far Cry 6 is Anton, and so for double entendre content, I want to do Anton and Anton versus Anton.
That'd be a fun episode.
Yeah. You know? Well, it's going to be like, I'd probably do it as like a series of streams and like get those put on YouTube. Instead of doing like an episode about it, like actually like play the game and have hijinks ensue in the world of Far Cry. But, so the major announcements from EA Play Live. Grid Legends, which they bought Codemasters. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, the only racing games that are on my radar right now are Dirt. I kind of want to get Dirt just to have a racing game on PS5. And I want to play Gran Turismo whenever the fuck that decides to come out.
Have they... I'm so far away from Gran Turismo. Have they actually shown anything for that?
Yeah, there was a trailer, and it's shown up in a couple sizzle reels. But it's coming to PS4 and PS5, but... I'm going to play it on PS5. Like, I've been stoked for that game for a minute. Like, Gran Turismo Sport was not what I needed. And, like, just the speed of the SSD. I just need to apply that to a Gran Turismo game, and we're good. Like, my main problem with Gran Turismo over the years has been load times. Because it's like, even when every game had load times, Gran Turismo's were, like, egregiously long.
It's rendering every fucking thing.
Right, and it looked great for doing that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Gran Turismo 5... You'll be missed in my heart, but Gran Turismo 7's on its way. Polyphony... Oh, fuck. I know the name of the guy who runs Polyphony, but it's totally slipping my mind because I worked 8 hours today and then did several other things for several hours. Battlefield 2042 Portal.
That shit
That looks cool.
hype.
My thing, okay, everybody is out here like, yeah, Battlefield, yeah, Battlefield, yeah, Battlefield. Is everybody paying that $70? Because I don't
It's
know.
gonna be $70 on
I'm
PC?
not.
I thought it was coming to Game Pass.
It actually might come to Game Pass because it's an EA and EA Play comes with Game Pass.
Yeah, but EA
No,
Play.
I don't think they said anything about Game Pass yet for it. So
Yeah, and that's the other thing.
I'm
EA
sure they
Play
wanna-
with
they
their
wanna
new
charge.
games, they give you a free trial of the game, but then they expect you to buy the game. Like that's the thing. EA Play is still a couple years behind. So like the Mass Effect collection isn't on there. So. But I mean, yeah, I mean, if it comes to Game Pass, I'd still want to play it on PS5 just because PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles are all crossplay. But I mean, the Portal stuff looked really cool because it's like, all right, you just want all the fucking tools that we've made over the time of making Battlefield. Here you fucking
Right.
go. And like, we know anything with user generated content like this, there's always some crazy level shit. And I mean, like, it's the first time a first person multiplayer shooter that I can think of has opened up its tools to players in this way.
Yeah.
To this
exactly.
capacity, yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, it's not like completely like it's not a level editor, but you can pick between 6 different maps and game modes and guns and vehicles. Like that's pretty cool.
Right.
Like,
The last
fighting
thing
in
I
World War
remember
II with mechs.
doing stuff like this with was Halo 4. I didn't play Halo 5 to be fair, and I'm sure a lot of this
I
stuff's
didn't
in the
either.
Master Chief collection, but and I have Halo 5. That's the worst part. Like I have Game Pass, so I could just download Halo 5. It's just a big ass file and I have a 500 gig Xbox One S.
Don't bother. Halo 5 isn't good.
I just
Multiplayer
about
is
to be
fine
playing-
though.
I
The
feel
multiplayer's
people
alright.
about to be
I will say the
playing Halo
multiplayer.
Infinite
Chris is right. The
real soon.
multiplayer, alright.
yeah,
Right.
Halo Infinite. I have
I
3 monitors and a VR headset ready to go. Let's Halo Infinite this shit. Like, let's do that shit up at, like, I'm not gonna... Yes, I'm a PlayStation fan, but I'm not gonna lie. In the words of the mighty Keith, Halo Infinite about to go crazy. Like, that shit... I'm ready. Like... I got disk space. Maybe I won't have it after I get my Rift set up, but we'll see. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can install Halo on a HDD. Like, you know, I don't necessarily need... Or I might have an M.2 by then. So,
yeah.
Battlefield Portal, they showed the new Apex character, Seer. We got the
Oh, yeah,
Emergence
Seer looks
launch
sick.
trailer. Oh my, dude. The more information we get about this character, and this, like, Apex has not missed in 3+ seasons now. I'm out here hitting
I thi-
110 in the battle pass, like...
The thing I like about Seer is, like, you know, with a lot of black characters. I know Trash Boy
Wait, I
even
thought
did like
Seer was Native American.
No,
Wait, no.
he's Nigerian.
Yeah.
Oh. Then who was I looking
Yeah,
at?
he's Igbo. So the cool thing about him with a lot of black characters, they're usually like, I'm the punchy guy. Like, you know, everybody has cool weapons and abilities, but no, I can punch. Like, that's what I do. And he's
Or
not
jump,
like that, you know?
jump high. Jump high seems to be another, like, black character thing to do.
Y'all are just describing Doomfist.
Well, I was
Yes.
more so describing
Yes.
Baptiste with
We
that
are.
second one.
Yes.
Damn.
Also,
We're just out here dragging Overwatch because fuck Blizzard.
right.
But yeah,
No, but Seer's
the
dope
fact
as
that
fuck.
we
And
have a
Yeah.
queer black male, like, Nigerian character coming to Apex.
Is he queer or is he just stylish?
No, I
Could
think
just be flamboyant.
I think he's queer. I think that was like one of the first things that they were posting about him lore wise.
Either way, it's fine. Apex, do your thing. Like they said, they usually use like martial artists and actors for mocap, but for him they use the dancer.
That's cool.
So
Cause
light
he's
on
got
his
like
feet.
these fluid, right? He's
Yeah.
got these fluid movements, and like his trailer was hard, and then like his animated was fucking flames.
Right, and his
So-
abilities, he's a walking heart rate sensor. There's so much, like, if you guys haven't started playing Apex because of us yet, like, there's no better time. Like, if you get in now and just kind of get your sea legs, and then this next season, they're going to totally shake up the sandbox, like, in ridiculous, crazy ways, and it's going to be ranked
Yeah, they're-
arena. Like, even if you...
Yeah, they're adding some cool stuff. Like the only thing they have to work on now is just shit on the back end. Honestly, like cheaters.
Oh my god, yeah.
Fucking crashes in servers. If they could fix some of that shit.
Right. I'm
I
tired of
think
getting
it'll be a way
updates for
better place.
stability and bug fixes, and I have a less stable game with more bugs than I had before.
For Apex to be doing as good as it's doing, and it to have like literal patches where it's unplayable, it's fucking impressive. There've been plenty of days where we just literally couldn't play Apex because the shit wasn't working. And I get it. Switch over to Knockout City. It's fine. But yeah, no, this new season is gonna be dope. A lot of the balance changes they added have been fair. Caustic's getting a buff, but they're kind of nerfing his old. Revenant's getting a little nerve. They're doing some of the right things, and they still have more information to drop. Like as the season gets closer, I'm just excited to play with Seer. Like, fucking
Yes,
dope.
I can't wait. I really can't wait.
And then that new LMG,
Right?
That takes thermite grenades. They're putting my whole loadout into like we're getting really into the weeds about Apex right now, but it's because we've been playing so much. They're putting my main loadout, the alternator Spitfire combo, into care packages. I'm like, y'all are just going to completely hoe me like this? My whole
See,
loadout.
that's S for
loadout.
arenas though. But like the main gun I use in arenas right now is like the L-Star, and the L-Star is getting a buff. So me as like one of 6 L-Star niggas, I am excited.
I use the Spitfire and the alternator. Like, I can kind of use the R99, and I can kind of use, sometimes I pull out the bow on them. Sometimes I pull out the 30-30. Like, that's the thing. I can adapt. I'll probably, like, have my main gun be
30-30 some ass.
Did they nerf it again, or are you just not good with the 30-30?
No, it's just ass. I think they buffed it a little bit, but
I mean, the G7's just really a better 30-30 if we're keeping it a buck, but...
exactly. Unless you got the shatter caps on that bitch.
And like, I prefer it without the shatter caps. I'm taking long range shots, but... Once again, we're in the weeds.
yeah.
I'm here for
Knockout City Season 2, Fight at the Movies is out. You can go play it right now. Apparently their 4v4 limited time mode is like getting
That
mixed
shit is sweaty.
reception.
That shit is sweaty. The problem with it is it's 4v4. The problem is you lose 2 hearts, you're just out for the round, like for the rest of the round. So you're trying to eliminate the other team. So
Oh,
So
it's
it's-
elimination.
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
So
we're
the
playing
thing
Trials in Knockout City? Fuck that.
right.
I'm not
so
playing
if you
Trials.
if you win the round and let's say you have 2 people left on your team and you eliminate the rest of the other team, like let's say I have 1 heart, you have 2 hearts. When the next round starts, our other 2 players are gonna spawn in 2 hearts, but me and you are gonna have the same hearts. So I'm still gonna have 2 and you're gonna have 1.
Damn.
So it goes like that. So let's say it's a 4-0 sweep, but everybody on the other team has 1 heart. The next round they're still gonna have 1 heart. So do with that what you will. That shit is sweaty. And you know how sometimes you lose a life on some bullshit? That happens a lot. So I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that mode. I would prefer a 4v4 like standard, which just like always in the like rotation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just need that fourth person. Like, you know, you just want to play a longer match with you got somebody else in your party. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see 5v5. I want to see 3v3v3. You know, like those maps are big enough for it.
3v3v3 was up for a little while. I play, or no, 2v2v2, not
Yeah, it
3v3.
was 2v2v2. Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel like those maps can facilitate more people, but there has to be a reason they're not doing it.
Yeah.
They're probably just getting around to it.
Have y'all played
The servers
map?
were kind of trash. Yeah, the new map is cool. It like there's 4 corners. There's like the tickets. There's popcorn over here. There's drinks, and then in the middle there's a stage because it's like a movie theater.
Yeah.
So, the map actually rotates. So it cycles through different types of movies. So the main stage changes. So that kind of like shifts the dynamic of it, which makes it pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I haven't gotten to play at all.
And then the new ball is like a soda. It's a soda ball. So when you hold it and charge it up, it's like the soda's building up pressure. And when you toss it, it will either explode. And when it explodes, it has soda. It leaves soda like all over your screen. So you can't see shit. So you're up here running around looking goofy.
With the ink from Mario Kart.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
But
So yeah, you know, they're adding some cool shit. I'm here for it.
I guess so. The second to last game that we'll talk about from EA Play Live is Lost in Random. Got a gameplay trailer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this game looks like just some good clean fun. It's giving me like that PlayStation 2 energy.
Yeah.
Right, it's
Of
an
just
EA
like- just
original,
fun-
and the EA
just fun
originals.
games.
I think I'm playing. I think It Takes Two is an EA original, and I've been playing
Yeah.
that with Angelina, and like these EA originals have been solid. Like I've heard really good things about Unravel 1 and 2 about being a really solid co-op game, and It Takes Two.
Oh,
like,
I played the first Unraveled game, and that was good. Like, the first one is. I haven't played the second one, but the first one is definitely good.
Nice.
Right. And I
Yeah,
mean,
well, this game's definitely going to be in that realm, so I'd recommend checking it out. It's got like like deck building mechanics for the
It's got
combat.
this Tim Burton ass feel to it.
It reminds me of the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Actually, I was going to
World
say
in
that. Not
Kingdom
Tim
Hearts
Burton, but
2.
the guy who made that.
That's the same
That
guy.
and Coraline.
That
Tim Burton definitely made Coraline. I can.
and he made Nightmare Before. It's fine.
No, one of those
mean,
wasn't made by Tim. No, Coraline was directed by Henry Selick.
Right. But he made Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. One of those...
And what was the other one?
9.
Yeah.
No,
Did
actually, Henry
9?
Selick also did Nightmare Before Christmas.
What the fuck?
That's the thing about it, is like he makes animated movies that we all keep thinking Tim Burton made.
He
Oh,
directed them.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. That guy.
Oh, so yeah, I'm looking at just Tim Burton's filmography, and I guess this is how shit gets when we've been recording for like an hour. But Beetlejuice was Tim Burton, Batman was
Yeah,
Tim
no,
Burton.
he did the
Edward
Edward
the 89
Scissorhands.
Batman movie. The one with the
Batman
Prince
Returns.
soundtrack. You have to remember,
Horse Bride.
Tim Burton had the Prince soundtrack on this Batman movie.
Tim Burton produced and wrote the story for Nightmare Before Christmas. He just didn't direct
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Right,
But-
and let me see. Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, Henry Selick also did James and the Giant Peach. That explains so much.
Dude, that movie terrified me as a child. I did
Good
not
reason.
fucking
It's
like.
that half claymation, the way they move, the frame rate. Like,
There was just so much that did not sit right with me when they made us watch that shit at school. I was like, But I do love Peach things. but that's because we're in Georgia.
Georgia.
I found out something really cool that I don't think I talked about since I've been back from Florida. When you're using your GPS and you cross the state line, it says "Welcome to whatever state," like down at the bottom where they normally have like your, like how many miles left, all that shit down at the bottom. Like it just replaces it with "Welcome to whatever." So it, when I went to Florida, it's like "Welcome to Florida." When I came back to Georgia, it brought up "Welcome to Georgia," and it had like Georgia on my mind. It was really cool.
That is cool.
Cool. Let me see. So we talked about EA Play. We talked about last thing at EA Play. And Jalen, I'll let you have your minute with this. Chris too. Dead Space. There's a official teaser for the new
confirmed.
Dead Space. Yeah, 100%. Like it's the same way. It's actually more information than we have on Skate 4, but you know.
Skate?
Which
apparently
this
we're making
isn't
a
a
Skate.
new Dead Space. It's just a remake of the first one.
It's
Which is
going to be
exactly
a Final
what I
Fantasy VII remake style remake. It's not going to
Okay,
be.
yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense narratively. Even narratively, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because all the narrative problems come from Dead Space 3.
Yeah,
Like, literally, here's the plot
I
of Dead
really
Space
do
1.
think they're going to do 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 just don't exist.
Honestly, no, all you got
Wait,
no,
was there
here's
a
the thing about
4?
it. If you wanted to make a brand spanking
Right.
new Dead Space game, here's all you have to do. You just start from the ending of Dead Space 3 with another character, because the whatchamacallits hit Earth. That's the thing about it. The alien things that were doing
But
all
if
this in
this
the
is
first
like,
place.
it's like a reboot.
Necromorphs?
Yeah, the Necromorph planet. The planet morphs, or whatever the fuck. The Necroplanets.
This
That's what I'm
is
calling
Dead
it. The
Space
Necroplanets
4.
reached Earth. We got our entire thing
Oh.
right there.
But it's going to be the one reason why I know this is going to be good is because the lead dev on this team really, really wanted to give Dead Space 1 the Resident Evil 2 treatment. So I'm excited for that. If you give it a true and honest to God Resident Evil 2
Yeah, that's what I
remake
think we're
treatment.
going to get.
You know what? I hope here's the thing about it. I hope so. I like Dead Space. You know? Am I still salty that EA is making money off of Dead Space and Visceral is still 6 feet deep? Yes, I am. And I will be salty about that for a long time.
I gotta shout out the ugly mugs in the chat because while fuck Blizzard and Activision by extension, they just made a reference to Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and said, "What do the numbers mean, Mason?" And I'm pretty
Heck,
sure
that's what they did to Isaac. They made Isaac figure out what the numbers mean, and he didn't like it. And then they took those numbers and built more. Oh my. This is the thing about it. This is why the ending of Dead Space 3 pisses me off. Because we'll never know what happened. The planets reached Earth. There, like, everything that I was ready for happened. And it was just like, nah, we're done.
I mean, we don't 100% know.
That the things reached Earth?
No, we don't know what their plan for Dead Space in the future is. We don't know.
Oh, I mean, I hope.
I guarantee
hope-
they're gonna 100% retcon Dead Space 3.
That's the thing about
I
it.
just
They
know
don't need
it
to
was
retcon
bad.
Dead Space 3. That's the thing about it. They don't need to retcon it. They just need to fix a couple of gameplay things that were good. The plot is pretty fine. It's just
Yeah,
like if the game,
gameplay
like
kinda-
if you took out the crafting.
Take out
You're
the
good.
co-op.
No, their original plan with the co-op was good. If you let Visceral do their original plan is that the two players were going through two separate experiences.
Well, remember,
Well-
Visceral's not around anymore.
I know Visceral's not around, but the idea is still there. The idea they had is open information. They could just do it.
Yeah.
And it was like, have the two players have totally different experiences. Isaac already went through the shit, so he's going through the normal game. The other guy doesn't know what the fuck's going on, so he's having weird vision as his brain gets rewritten. Like, you know. Like, Dead Space 3 was only a problem when it came to, like, the fact that EA monetized the hell out of it. That was really its only problem.
Yeah. Did they show what dev team is doing? Dead Space? The remake?
That I'm
think
actually
so.
not sure of. I mean, it was a teaser, so
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure you could find out what the actual team working on it is, but I guarantee Visceral's gone.
Yeah.
Motive. That's the studio.
EA Motive? Okay.
Okay.
I somewhat trust in Motive. You know, that's the thing. EA teams have been doing good shit lately. Between like Velen Studios making Knockout City.
Oh wait, I remember this is the Squadrons team, and I like Squadrons.
I still need to play Squadrons in
team.
VR. I have my VR hooked up to my PS5, and I have Star Wars Squadron probably installed. I just haven't played it.
Squadron's a good time.
All right, so that was the last thing from EA Play. We already talked about that. That's No Moon. Fuck Blizzard. The Olympics. One thing I want to kind of talk about, because it's kind of big as far as the sports games world goes, is PES. Pro Evolution Soccer is getting like a free-to-play version. I think it's called like eSoccer, and it's coming to every conceivable platform. And so they're trying to undercut
They're finally
FIFA.
doing the live service model.
Right. So they're trying to be free to play, have it be a platform, and get you on microtransactions, where FIFA's still going to be charging you $60 to $70 for the base version of the game, and then piling like egregious microtransactions on top of it. So
Don't
Minimum
play EA.
updates to graphics.
right.
Just don't play EA Sports.
No, not even minimum upgrade. I mean, literally copy pasted. Like, what was it? Madden 21 had the Madden 20 banner still on the field.
It was bad. Madden 21 is somehow worse than Madden 20.
Which is hard.
'cause they
Madden
use
20
Madden
is
20.
borderline
And
just
so
a carbon copy of 2019.
And this is another. Well, this is just another example of Konami re-entering the game space and being like smart about what they're doing. So it's coming to PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC, and free to play, custom engine based on Unreal Engine 4. So they're no longer trying to fuck around with the Fox engine.
Frostbite.
What? No, the Pro Evolution is Konami.
I'm thinking of EA. I'm fucking.
Yeah,
fucking tripping. I was thinking
FIFA's Frostbite. Yeah, but I mean, so I'm excited for this. As somebody like, I played one random PES game over the years. I played like one random FIFA game and one random PES game, and I preferred the PES game. So the fact that it's just now eFootball and it's going to go out to a lot more people around the world, considering it's
You know,
free.
I'll actually play it because I fuck with soccer. I just haven't copped a FIFA in years because I started with each one. I started noticing more of the flaws and like the minimum improvements, if any. So really, it just became I really want this cover and I really like this soundtrack, because those soundtracks for FIFA fucking slap. But if this is a free soccer game, I'll definitely play it. Like fucking around, like maybe get somebody else on. Like, yo, come hop on that PES, I'll bust your ass real quick.
With me personally, I prefer my sports games arcadey. That's so I never really got into like Madden, 2K, and FIFA that much because
Yeah, I've
wanna
never
press
been
two
able to
buttons.
get into them, but like I said, the one time I played FIFA versus the one time I played the one time I owned FIFA versus the one time I owned PES, I preferred PES. So
You know what happens? You gotta live in a dude house or visit a dude house. You know, there's just a bunch of dudes in the house. You're gonna play 2K. You're gonna play FIFA, and you might play something like a Tekken or
it's either going to be a sports game, a fighting game,
maybe
or
a
shooter.
Madden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
okay, and I think with
Dude
that
house.
we've had an episode. Remember, you can follow us all collectively around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter. I don't know why I started with Twitch. I haven't been streaming lately. Actually, I streamed the end of Shadowbringer, so that's kind of a lie. You can follow me at Anton6 with 3 X's. Chris, where can people find you?
At Chef and Chris.
Jalen?
Squid Bishop.
Madrid?
3-piece set pod.
All right. This has been a Know It's Good production. The video version is edited by Lana Twisted Mind. The audio version of Extra Slices are edited by Akumasanti. Until next time, keep it cheesy.
Cheesy.